Hello and welcome to the new video. Today's video is about Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 3. The setting of the scene is in the Venice. It's a public place where Shylock, the main villain, which is introduced in this scene, meets with Bassanio and Antonio, and Bassanio and Antonio are in a need of money. Shylock is an usurer, Shylock is a money lender. So, they go to Shylock, but there is a problem. Antonio and Shylock are both competitor businessmen in Venice. Antonio gives money without any interest, and the whole sole business of Shylock is lending money on interest. So, Antonio's practice of giving money without this interest creates lots of damage to the business of Shylock. So, that is why Shylock hates Antonio, and Antonio is a different sort of man. He uses to insult Shylock publicly at public places, and even in an ill-mannered, savage type of behavior. Sometimes he may spit on his gabardine, sometimes he may call him a stray dog, and sometimes he may even push him. So, Shylock patiently faces all these insults because he say that suffering is a badge of our tribe. So, due to a severe insult of Shylock by Antonio, Shylock has an ancient grudge about Antonio, and that Antonio now goes to Shylock to ask for money. So, Shylock is a very shrewd man. He do not refuses directly. Rather, instead of refusing money, he thinks of a plot, and he says that he will lend money because Antonio wanted to help Bassanio, and Antonio was out of money because his ship were all over the world for trade purpose. He do not have 3,000 ducats. Shylock can lend them, but there is a ancient grudge, severe hate between Antonio and Shylock. They both hated each other too much. So, this is the background setting of the play, in which we start the discussions, we start the dialogues, in which first Bassanio meets the Shylock and asks for the money with the guarantee of Antonio. And Shylock, when hears this, that Antonio is the guarantor, he gives out some interesting and shrewd expressions that will be interesting to hear in this scene. So, let us come and try to understand in depth, dialogue by dialogue, this scene. So, in the scene in the stage play, Bassanio and Shylock enters, and this Bassanio and Shylock both are having a talk with each other. So, Shylock says 3,000 ducats. Well, so he is talking in a sarcastic manner, he is talking in a rather commenting manner. You need 3,000 ducats. He is saying to Bassanio like this, because you know very well that Bassanio is a friend of Antonio. So, he started in a way, you need 3,000 ducats. So, Bassanio says, "Aye sir, for 3 months." "Yes sir, for 3 months." So, Shylock replies, "Oh, for 3 months, well." So, it is an attitude of a villain, for 3 months, well. Now, Bassanio says, "For the which I has told you, Antonio shall be bound." And now, Bassanio says that Antonio will be guaranteed. He says, "For which I have told you that Antonio will be bound for that, Antonio will be a guarantee for that." Again Shylock says, Antonio shall become bound. Well, Antonio will be surety. Well, means Antonio will be giving the guarantee. Well, now Bassanio again says, may you steed me. Will you pleasure me? Shall I know your answer? So Bassanio says, can you help me? Will you please me? Will you pleasure me? Are you going to help me? Can I you answer? What's your answer? He is asking. Again Shylock replies in a shrewd manner. 3,000 ducats for 3 months and Antonio bound. Bassanio says, your answer to that means I am asking the answer. What's your answer? What's your reply? Shylock says, Antonio is a good man. He is not answering. He is talking in a shrewd manner, as if he is pretending that he is thinking too much. He is plotting in his mind that Antonio is bound. So what should I do? Antonio will give the surety. So what should I do? So Bassanio says, have you heard any imputation to the contrary? So when Shylock says Antonio is a good man, then Bassanio says, have you heard anything, any allegation to the contrary? Means you have any doubt that Antonio is not a good man, or you have heard anything that is contrary to this, that is an allegation to Antonio? Now Shylock says, oh, no. My meaning is saying he is a good man. Is to have you understand that it is sufficient. I mean to say that Antonio is bound, it's sufficient. Antonio is giving surety, that is sufficient. Yet his means are in supposition. Now Shylock says that he has some doubt. What is that doubt? His means are in supposition. He is a rich man, no doubt. But his means, whatever his ships are, they are not with him. His means are in supposition. To hath an argosy bound to Tripolis. One of his argosy, one of his ship is to Tripoli, another to the Indies. Understand, moreover, upon the Rialto, he hath a third at Mexico and fourth of England. And at Rialto, where the merchants meet, I have heard that one of his ship has gone to Mexico and the fourth ship has gone to England. And other ventures he hath squandered abroad. And other ventures what he had, they are not with him, they are here and there, they are squandered. But ships are but boats. But you know, what are ships? They are ships. They are just boats. And sailors are what? Sailors are men. And there are land rats and water thieves and land thieves. I mean, pirates. And then there is a peril of waters, winds, rocks. Means he is doubting. Although Antonio is a very rich man, he has ships all over the world, but there are pirates, there are rats, and sailors are men. What would happen if they all get destroyed? This is what Shylock says. So, but, the man is notwithstanding sufficient. But, Shylock says, the man is sufficient. His surety is sufficient. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take this bond. So 3,000 ducats. So I'll accept his surety. Bassanio. Now Bassanio replies. So such a shrewd answer the Shylock has given, that he is inclined to take surety of Antonio, but still he is commenting that he is in danger. Now Bassanio says, be assured you may. So Bassanio says, rest you may be assured as you wish. Shylock says, yes, I will be assured. I may. That I may be assured. I will think again. May I speak with Antonio? So he says that I'll think over it. I'll be assured. But may I speak with Antonio? Now Bassanio gives an offer. So if it please you, you dine with us. So Bassanio gives an offer. So if you like, you may have a dinner with us. Shylock says, a very rude answer. Yes, to smell pork. Yes, should I have a dinner to smell pork with you? because you all eat pork. To eat of that habitation which your prophet the Nazareth conjured the devil into. So, you all people eat pork, and that pig is an animal in which your prophet has said that devil lives over here, and you all eat that. So, will I dine with you? I will buy with you, I will sell with you, I will talk with you, walk with you, and so following, but I will not eat with you, not drink with you, not pray with you. What news on the Rialto? Who is he comes here? So Shylock refuses. I would not dine with you, I am not going to smell the pork. So Shylock said in this manner that I will do everything with you, but I will not dine with you, I will not drink with you, and I will not pray with you. So this is what the answer of the Shylock was. And he says, now what is the news on the Rialto? Is there any new news on the Rialto? Because all the news regarding ships and the argosies and the merchants come on Rialto, because all the merchants of the Venice meets at Rialto. Rialto is the place of meeting of the merchants. Now in the scene enter Antonio. Now Bassanio says, this is Signor Antonio. Now Shylock understood that Antonio has entered, but still he pretends that he does not know that Antonio has entered. Now he says, how like a fawning publican he looks. He says that he looked like a flattering tax collector. Now he is commenting on Antonio. Antonio looks like a tax collector, as if he has come to collect money from over here. I hate him. Shylock says, I hate him. Why? Because he is a Christian. Shylock is saying, I hate Antonio because he is a Christian, and but more for that, in low simplicity he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of ascents here with us in Venice. I hate him. Why? Because he is a Christian. And I hate him more for what? For his simplicity, because he gives loans, he gives money without interest, and in that way the interest rate comes down in Venice, and that hurts my business a lot. This is the reason I hate Antonio. So he says that he lends out money gratis, which bring down the rate of usance here of us in the Venice. And what else he says? If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. So he said that I have an ancient grudge, I hate him from a very long time, and if I catch him once, I will satisfy my ancient grudge, I will satisfy my old anger with him, because he has done big damage to my business. He hates our sacred nation. You know, Antonio hates our sacred nation, the Jewish nation, and he rails even there where merchants most be congregate, and he do it publicly. Do you know at which places? The places at which the merchants collect, the merchant congregate. On me, my bargains, on my well-won thrift, he comments on me, he comments on my money, he comments on my hard-earned money, well-won thrift, which he calls interest. He says, this is my interest, which is my hard-earned money. Cursed by my tribe if I forgive him. So if I forgive him, it will be cursed my tribe. My tribe will never forgive him. Jews will never forgive him, for he is a man that is against the Jews. So Bassanio says, Shylock, do you hear? Bassanio is on the point. The Shylock, do you hear? Are you going to give money? And Shylock is expressing his view regarding Antonio, because Antonio is now going to be bound. So now Shylock is expressing his feeling that why I hate this person. Again Shylock says, I am debating at my present store. I am looking how much wealth do I have, present cash, how much cash do I have, and by the near guest of my memory, I cannot instantly raise up the gross, and as much as I think up to my memory helps me, I cannot raise all the money you are wanting, 3000 ducats. of full 3000 ducats. What of that? Then what will I do? Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe. So there is one, a wealthy Hebrew, Tubal. He will do it, will furnish me. But soft, how many months do you desire? Again in a shrewd manner, he says, for how many months do you desire? To Antonio, rest you fair, good signor. Now he says to Antonio, after criticizing him a lot, he says, oh good signor, for how many months do you want? Your worship was the last man in our mouths. So you were the last man about which we were discussing. Shylock was very well aware that Antonio was standing over there. He was criticizing him and saying so much about him. But now he says that, oh, you was the man we were discussing about. Antonio says, Shylock, I never neither lend nor borrow, by taking nor by giving or access. So Antonio is rude. He says, Shylock, I neither lend nor borrow. I do not do this business what your business is. And I do not take any excess money for giving money to the others. I just take my principal. Yet to supply the ripe wants of my friend, I will break the custom. But my friend is in heavy need, Bassanio is in heavy need. So I will break this custom that I never lend or I never borrow. And to Bassanio he says, is he possessed? How much you want? So he asked to Bassanio that have you confirmed him? Have you told him that how much money you want? Shylock, 3000 ducats. Shylock says, yes, 3000 ducats. And Antonio says, yeah, for 3 months. So in this way the discussion was going on. Now Shylock says, I had forget 3 months. I forget 3 months. Okay, you told me so. Well, then your bond, and let me see. But hear you, methought you said you neither lend or borrow upon advantage. So I forget, you need for it 3 months. But let me ask one thing. Just now you said that you neither lend nor borrow. Antonio said, I do never use it. Antonio says, no, I do never lend or borrow. Now Shylock gives an example from ancient mythology, from his religion. He says, he justifies that his lending or borrowing is pious, is with lines with the religion. Now he gives an ancient story of Jacob and Laban and of Abraham. He says, Shylock tries to explain, Shylock says, when Jacob grazed his uncle Laban's sheep. So when Jacob was grazing uncle Laban's sheep, this Jacob was from our holy Abraham was. And his wife mother brought him in his behalf, the third processor. He was the third. So Jacob was the third in the descendant of Abraham. And Jacob was grazing the sheep of Laban. So Antonio says, and what of him? Did he take interest? So Antonio is saying, so did Jacob took the interest? That's why you are taking the interest. Shylock says, no, not that interest, not as you would say, directly interest. No, Jacob didn't take directly interest. Mark what Jacob did. So Shylock is making a point that just see what Jacob did. And he wants to make a point that what Jacob did, same I am doing. When Laban and himself were compromised, so there was a compromise between Laban and Jacob, that all the inlings which were streaked and pied should fall on the Jacob's hire. So whatever sheep which are born, which will be stripes, will be on the side of Jacob. This was a way to thrive, and he was blessed, and the thrift is blessing if a man steal is not. So whatever sheep is born with the stripes will be on the side of the Jacob. So this is what told Shylock, and this was a venture which was done by his mother, that when the sheep were born, she put some wooden structure so that shade fall on them, and most of the sheep that were born were striped. So, in this way all the sheep went on the Jacob's side. So, Antonio says that this was a venture, sir, that Jacob served for, a thing not in his power to bring to pass, but swayed and fashioned by the land of heaven. So, Antonio is saying that was a blessing of the God. What this inserted to make interest good. So, how interest can be good? What you are taking? Or your gold and silver are eves or rams? Or what are your gold and silver coins? Are they sheeps? What you are telling about? What do you want to tell? So, Shylock says, I cannot tell, I make it breed as fast. But note me, Signer, Shylock is saying that as Jacob breeded his sheep very fast by a trick, in a similar way, I breed my gold and silver very fast in a similar way. What's the wrong? When Jacob can do it, I can also do it. What is the interest in that? I am just increasing my money. Nothing is bad in it. This is what the point Shylock wanted to make. So, he is saying that I am in with the line of Jacob. What Jacob did, I am doing that. He got a striped sheep with a trick. I am increasing my gold and silver with a trick. There is nothing like interest. It is my hard earned money. So, this was a justification of Shylock. So, Antonio says, mark you this, Bassanio, the devil can cite the scripture for this purpose. So, Antonio says, Bassanio, do you see, this devil can even quote the religious scripture for when he want to justify anything. So, he is justifying that he is like Jacob. An evil soul producing holy witness. So, Shylock is an evil soul, and what he is doing? He is producing a holy witness. Is like a villain with a smiling cheeks. So, he look like a villain with a smiling cheeks. A goodly apple rotten at the heart. So, look like an healthy good apple which is rotten at the center. Or what a goodly outside falsehood hath. So, very good external appearance, but rotten from inside. That is like a Shylock is. Shylock says 3,000 ducats. Oh, 'tis a round sum. 3 months from 12. Then let me see what's the rate. Now, Shylock didn't answer for this. Shylock says you need for 3 months, and 3 months out of 12 months. And how much you need? 3,000 ducats. Okay. So, you need 3,000 ducats. That's a round sum. Antonio says, well, Shylock, shall be beholding to you. So, well, Shylock, are you going to oblige me? Antonio says, are you going to oblige me? Then Shylock gives an answer which is not lesser than a slap. So, Shylock says, Signor Antonio, many a times and oft in the Rialto you have rated me. So, Signor Antonio, dignified Antonio, at Rialto, many a time you abused me about my money and my usences. You have abused me about my own money and the way I raise the money and the way I raise the interest. Still I have borne it with patient shrug, and I didn't said you anything. I borne all this with patience, with just holding my shoulders. Okay, Antonio, like this. So, with patient shrugs, I have listened all your abuses. Still have I borne it with patient shrug, for sufferance is a badge of a tribe. And why I did it? Because to suffer is an characteristic of a tribe. You call me misbeliever. You call me a misbeliever. You call me an atheist. You call me a cutthroat dog. You told me that I am a dog. And spit upon my Jewish gabardine, and whatever I wear my clothes, you have spitted on that. So, gabardine is a cloth which traditional Jews used to wear. So, you spitted on me on Rialto. And for all use of that which is mine own, and you did all this for I was using my own money. Well then, now it appears you need my help, and now what is the case? You need my help. Oh, to then you come to me and you say, and now what happens? You just come to me and you say, Shylock, we would have some monies, you so say, and now you come to me and say, Shylock, we need some money. Will you give us to money? Will you give us? You that did, wide your realm upon my beard. So, you have spitted on my beard also, and foot me as you spurn as a stranger cur. And what did you do? You have kicked me like a stray dog. I also got your kick. You kicked me at Rialto as if you kick as a stray dog. As dogs are kicked, you kicked me. Over a threshold, money is your suit. What should I say to you? Now you need money. Now, what should I say to you? Now you had kicked me as if you kicks dogs, and now you are in need of a money. Now, what should be my answer? Has a dog money? Is it possible that dog possesses a money? A cur can lend 3,000 ducats. A stray dog can give you 3,000 ducats because I am a stray dog. So, can a stray dog lend you 3,000 ducats? Shall I bend low? Now, what should I do? I shall bend low behind you and say, well, with a bated breath and whispering humbleness, say this. So, with very humbleness, should I say like this? Sir, yes sir, you spit on me Wednesday last, you spurned me such a day another time. Yes sir, you spit on me last Wednesday, and you called me a dog, and for all these courtesies, I will lend you money. So, you did so many courtesies to me, and for all these courtesies, should I lend money to you? So, you want this, that I should bend upon you and said, yes sir, you kicked me, you spit upon me, and you abused me so much, you insulted me so much, and you insulted my race, and now just you need money. So, I should bend down and say, sir, you want money, should I lend you money? So, you want all this. So, this was Shylock's answer. So, this scene is a pretty big scene consisting of 175 lines. So, it is up to 120 lines, 1 to 120. So, I will stop here, and in the next video we will be having from 120 lines to 121 to 175. So, thank you for being with me listening this video. Thank you very much.